Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the case of Michael Joseph Vaughan, affectionately known by his family members as Monkey Vaughan. Michael Vaughan has been missing since July 27th, 2021. Michael was accused, not accused, rather, Michael was abducted by what prosecutors and police say is these four individuals: Sarah Wondra, Stacey Wondra, Adrian Lucien, and Brandon Shirtliff. Stacey Wondra, the big guy with the big head there in the middle, he is now went to preliminary court and it will soon go to trial. But there are three others that still need charged in this case. We've got the video footage from trial now, or the preliminary trial, and it is devastating to say the least. We got a lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Oops. Wrong one.
There's a swing that still sways in the old schoolyard, a bike by the fence, rusted and scarred, and someone still leaves little flowers by name, where hope won't give up and love stays the same. A birthday with with candles but no little hands. So we send our wishes through soft blowing sand. We don't know where you are, but we feel that you're close. In laughter and sunlight, in shadows and ghosts. Somewhere.
One second, y'all. This is actually the one I wanted to play. Give me a second. I apologize. This is it.
A little boy lost in the Idaho night. Parents' hearts break and you can't make it right. Brandy and Tyler, they hold on tight. Brothers and sisters search every light. For shadows moving through the town. Police on the hunt, they won't back down. Justice we call, don't make a sound. Monkey come home, we're all around. Where did he go? Bring Monkey home. Love's on the light streets we roam. Got him back, he's not alone. Michael Vaughn, come back where you belong. Posters and prayer signs in the yard. Every second's another scar. Neighbors and strangers looking far. Faith in the distance like a star. The wind whispers his name in the trees, echoing down on bended knees. Hold on tight to memories, someday soon he'll be set free. Where did he go? Bring Monkey home. Love's on the light streets we roam. Got him back, he's not alone. Michael Vaughn, come back where you belong. The wind whispers his name in the trees, echoing down on bending knees. Hold on tight to memories. Someday soon you'll be set free. Where did he go? Bring Monkey home. Love's on the light streets we roam. Got him back, he's not alone. Michael Vaughn, come back where you belong. Where did he go? Bring Monkey home. Monkey home. Love's on the light streets we roam. Streets we roam. Streets we roam. Got him back, he's not alone. Come back, Michael Vaughn. Come back where you belong. Where you belong. Where you belong. Where you belong.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we're talking about the case of Michael Monkey Joseph Vaughan, affectionately known as Monkey, from his loved one's very sweet little 5-year-old boy who, out of all places, was abducted by strangers, 4 strangers in Fruitland, Idaho, on July 27th, 2021. It's been a minute. We've not stopped, though. We've not stopped. And Stacey Wondra, one of these right here, the big guy with the big head in the middle, he's actually been on my channel before. He wanted to clear his name, but he spoke out on my channel as well as other channels. He is being charged in the death and the abduction of Michael Joseph Vaughan right now. There are still 3 others. He was in preliminary court the other day, and a lot of new things surfaced. Brandy and Tyler Vaughan, Michael Joseph Vaughan's mother and father, were on the bench uh, speaking about their experience of this. And tonight we're going to be reviewing some of that. Stacey Wondra, I did show a brief clip on Stacey Wondra speaking to his mother, but now it's all out, and we're going to review some of that. This is going to have to be in 2 or 3 parts because it is quite long, and we're going to talk about all of that. So I wanted to, because I know some of you was in chat here and you were saying you're not familiar with this case. So let me just give it boiled down to you very, very briefly. But guys, before we get started, if you don't mind, please do me a big, big favor and hit that thumbs up button. If you would share this live out, it would mean so much to me. Brandy and Tyler are very dear friends to me and this channel. And my microphone is just not having it. And they have been through hell and back in the last 5 years. So Michael Joseph Vaughan, he, like I said, went missing on July 27th, 2021. Stranger abductions very rarely happen. Just truly, we have what 330 million people in the United States. Truly a handful only happen every year. We see a lot in the news, hear a lot about, but rarely they take place. It's usually someone we know. However, little town in, out of all places, like I said, Fruitland, Idaho. Michael Vaughan's mother was at work. Her name is Brandy, and Michael's father was at home. Michael and his had a baby sibling at the time, and Tyler, the father, was ordering pizza that evening. Very hot day in July, and he was changing a diaper on Michael's sibling. Michael got out of the house, went out through the garage, wanted to go see if the neighbors' kids wanted to play. Michael had went to a couple houses to see if the neighbors could play or whatever, but nobody could play that evening. There were in pretty much the same neighborhood, just a different couple streets over, there was these 4 monsters, and I do mean monsters, lurking. In my opinion, they were looking for a child. In my opinion, their behavior throughout the day before they had picked up Michael shows that they were searching as well. Anyway, Michael, like I said, was looking for friends to play with. Unfortunately, these 4 is the ones that prosecutors say abducted Michael. Sarah Wondra here, particularly, in my opinion, is the brains of the operation, if you will. And she in my opinion, Brandon and Adrian, they had grabbed Michael, and they had took them, because these 4 they was kind of living all together in a house a couple streets over from where Michael was. They grabbed him, took him in the house, and then put him in a duffel bag. And then they left that area and went to Brandon Shirtlift's mother's house, about 30 to 45 minutes away. Brandon is the other guy in the middle, the guy with like the sandy blonde hair. They put Michael in the back of a duffel bag, threw him in the back of the truck. They had taped his mouth shut and took that ride. Brandon's mom happened to be out of town. Brandon was not supposed to go into his mother's house, and they drove that drive and put Michael in the house. They towed Brandon's car, who was at his mom's house that evening, so they could have an alibi. They got home. They got back to the home where they were living at later that night. And of course, everyone was out looking for Michael Vaughn whenever they had just abducted him hours earlier. They set their alarm and went back the next day. That's the gist of it. The very quickly version. Smiley, thank you so much for your super sticker. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. And Miller, thank you so much. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you. In my opinion, Sarah's mom knows, and Brandon's mom has some kind of knowledge also, but not as much as Sarah's mom. Very evil. Very, very evil. So there is things that we're going to talk about here in the trial, and I'll 1 second. Okay, thank you for sending me that. I appreciate you. I want to show you some conversations that happened. Now, I did a FOIA a couple years ago, and they accidentally sent me Stacey Wondra confessing that he knew that Michael Vaughn was buried in the backyard of the house. Again, Michael Vaughn at some point was buried a couple streets over from where he first went missing. And he was in jail at the time, trying to rat out his girlfriend who put him in jail. And I'm trying to find something. I'm sorry, guys. Bear with me 1 second as I show you guys something here. I'm looking for, okay. So I'm going to show you, this is part of the preliminary trial. Stacey Wondra did speak with his mother, and all of this is a big ass trigger warning because it's a lot. It's a lot. I want to show you something here. Stacey admits to his mom that Michael is dead and that, yeah, it's really bad. So this is the fuller version of what we seen of the little clip the other day.
Just for the record, this is Exhibit 14, which has previously been admitted.
Hey, buddy.
So this is Stacey Wondra. This is the guy that was on my channel. This is the one who's in the preliminary trial right here. This is Stacey Wondra's adopted mother. She seems like a good, decent lady, in my opinion, and she is nothing like her adopted son. That is for damn sure.
What's happening?
Just got done talking to the detectives.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Told me everything.
Yeah. I'm proud of you for that, babe. I know it wasn't easy. I know it wasn't
I
easy.
think so too. Fun to ski. You'll know a lot more here in just a little bit, just Jesse.
I know you are, babe. I know. Huh? Sweetheart? I know.
He's going to admit it here in a
You
second.
know.
Hey, Nana.
I know, babe. Were you completely honest with him about everything? Okay. That's very important, you know.
You can tell she's a good woman.
I have to take those off.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. Let you guys go.
Guys, I lose my cool on this case. So I'm just telling you, I'm not going to apologize because I am so mad at these mofos. This bastard wants to cry for himself. You damn right, Trish. That's exactly right. So what was this asshat doing whenever Michael Vaughn was crying? 5-year-old little boy. What were you doing then, Stacey?
I know, babe. I know. I know. I know you are.
Yeah.
I would have never been caught in the middle of this if it wasn't for her.
Sweetie, you have to take responsibility for your part, okay?
No.
You have to be a man.
That's it, Patty. That's it. He's a bitch. He's not a man.
I'm being true to my word. I promised you if you told the truth, okay? I'm right here.
I'm just afraid of losing you guys.
Sweetie, I'm right here. I answered the phone.
This has to
I
be
answered the phone.
very difficult for her.
Take a deep breath.
You should get life insurance because you never know. My dad.
Oh, guys, I am so sorry for the commercial. I apologize. Let me figure out where I'm at. We shouldn't get it commercials. I just got to put it on the right one. Pardon me. I apologize. 340. So unprofessional. I apologize. I hate when that happens. I forget to put it on there. 340. Sorry about that.
I need you to do whatever you need to do, okay? To help, all right? You know, the Bible tells us if we confess
That's it.
our
That's it. Just
sins, he is
Justine.
faithful and just to forgive us our sins. He's not going to take away the
Hey,
consequences.
little black bear.
And
Yeah.
he's going to forgive you because you know what, babe? You confessed. You confessed your part in it. But you have.
But this is the thing. And she knows this now. He didn't confess with his heart or anything like this. This bastard came up on my channel and so many other channels and said how he wanted to clear his name, how he knew nothing about it, how he was completely blindsided by all of these people, and it was impossible for him, for Michael to have been in that car because driving to the to Brandon's mom's house because he was in the car. There was no certain conversations or anything. You lied your ass off. When you are truly sorry, when you are truly remorseful, you confess with your mouth, you ask for forgiveness, you repent, and you do the best you can moving forward, even in egregious, unspeakable crimes like this. That is what you do when you are truly remorseful, when you are truly asking for Brandy and Tyler's, and most importantly, Michael's forgiveness. That's what you do. But you didn't. You did this for self-serving, Stacey, in my opinion. You did this because you wanted to throw your wife in jail, just like she threw your ass in jail.
To be 100% honest with them, okay?
No, green eyes, nasty. Ugh.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. I'm right here, buddy. Okay?
I don't know, Val. I don't know if, I don't know. I can't
You want to
imagine,
talk
but
about
I
it?
don't want to say yes or no,
Right.
you know.
Just anything?
What's that, Joanne? What's your question, honey?
Feel lighter.
Yeah,
You feel lighter?
yeah. That's
Hey, rapper.
for the best,
I know
huh?
God forgives if there's truly remorse. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
You've been carrying that burden for a while, haven't you? Yeah.
That nothing to do with it.
oh. What did they ask me? Hold on. What did they ask? That's so cute. That's so cute. Hold on. I thought they were asking. Oh, no, Joanne, I don't. If no, I don't. Why do you care? Why do you care? I do my own research and everything else. So you should really care how much my members or anyone wants to donate to me or become a member. It's a legitimate question, and here's my legitimate answer. That's my legitimate answer. That's what it is. So yeah, thank you for being here.
Huh?
I don't want.
We're not talking about anything other than Michael Vaughn, Joanne. That's fine. You can think that. You're absolutely welcome to think that. I really don't mind what you say. I don't even, you don't even have a picture up. So we're here talking about Michael Vaughn. If you want to join us in speaking about this case, you're welcome to. Okay. You are very unprofessional, so we'll
Anything to do with it. Honestly.
yeah, I shouldn't even give him that. We knew who it was anyways.
Promise me you guys won't leave me if I have to go to prison for all life.
I did something. That's okay.
I'm right here. I'm right here. Huh?
I feel like God's not
Sweetheart,
want anything to do with me.
I can't speak for him. Right
Jules,
now, we're just.
how are you, darling? Good to see you. Thank you for 22 months. Really do appreciate you, darling. Good to see you. We love you, Justin and Charles. That's been amazing. All you do, Joanna, see you later on. Sweetheart. I think ICU's pulling that right now. I think we pretty much know who that is. Thank you, Jules. Thank you so much, my dear. How is everyone? Really do appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much for your continued support, my love. Good to see you, my dear. Hey, Magdalena. Thank you so much, Magdalena. How you doing, darling? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. Don't worry, I'll see those things. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my dear. Very, very kind of you. Hopefully you and yours are well. Appreciate you, babies. Good to see you.
Like, we're still processing everything.
I will be in Idaho when this goes to trial, when Sarah goes to trial, in my opinion, because I do believe she will. I do believe Brandon will, and Adrian. I will be there. You can bet Samantha and I will both be there to give our friend Brandy and Tyler the support.
I was hoping and praying that you were being honest with me, but
Hey, Mary.
I knew in here, baby. I knew.
Now I'm just gonna be labeled as predator, man.
What?
I'm just gonna be labeled as a predator everywhere I go. This evil person.
Sweetie, I love you.
What we do.
Where are you at right now?
And my father.
This is the thing, Green, as I think Stacey will take a plea deal and testify against the rest of. So, I really don't believe Stacey knows. Hey, girl, how are you? There's my BFF, Samantha. Samantha is a rock star when it comes to this case. She was there at the preliminary hearing with Brandy. Samantha does. She's close to Brandy, like she lives in Oregon, and she was just there for all of this. She was just who I was talking about just a second ago. Hey, Sam, I don't want to put you on the spot, girlfriend, but if you want to come up, just let me know. I'll text you something. If you're busy, understand. You don't feel like it, understand. but you're always welcome to come up. Guys, make sure, mods, please drop Samantha's link. She's got everything about Michael Vaughan's case. She's always on it.
Are you by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. What did they say was gonna happen now?
They were just gonna go out and
They were what?
they're just gonna go out and get Michael from where I told them he was.
Yeah,
They said that if everything turns out what I said and matches, that they were gonna fight for me.
okay. Baby, is Michael alive?
Sarah accidentally killed him.
How?
Suffocation. They buried him in a duffel bag.
How was that an accident?
She didn't realize there was too much clothes on top of him.
Why did she take
And
him?
he was duct taped.
Why did she take him? Did she take him?
Oh,
or
I
did
was muted.
you?
I'm sorry.
No, I didn't take him. It was her and Adrian.
She said I don't remember what I was saying. I apologize, but I don't believe that for a second that there was any accident whatsoever.
Where were you?
Sitting at home when they came walking in and Sarah was holding Michael.
Yeah, so Sarah and them walk in with 5-year-old Michael Vaughn, who we know is scared. Obviously, strangers just took him from his neighborhood while he's trying to talk to his friends and play with his friends. And you're just sitting there like a bump on a log, Stacey, and you don't do anything about it. In fact, you let him duct tape him, throw him in a duffel bag, and go for a ride.
Why was she gonna do
Moron.
that? Why?
I think she wanted to try to appease me with the here's a kid, like type of thing. Because we've been trying for so hard. And I looked at her and I said, what the heck are you doing? I said, this is not, she goes, well, I just needed to make money. And I said, this is not how you do that. Well, the goal with her was so she could make money. And she was going to split it with Adrian.
So Sarah and Adrian were trying to do scams online with I can't remember, some app or whatever, and they said they were going to sell Michael for $10,000. Who even unless you're involved in some really shady stuff, who's going to even think about, like, who was you going to sell Michael too, if you're not already involved in some really shady stuff.
And I was completely out of the loop with everything.
How come you didn't say something?
I was scared too. I was scared. I knew I told her, I said, you need to call the authorities. I said, you need to report this.
No, you
This is
didn't.
not okay.
No, you called. No. You called Brandon right there. You called Brandon and said, we need to get our story straight. That's what you did.
And she goes, no, I'm not doing that.
I have compassion for his mom because I can't imagine you, trying to be a, like, because I do believe she's a wonderful human being. She adopted this, Stacey whenever he was an infant and others, and she's done like truly everything right. And now she's listening to the man from the little boy that she adopted when he was little, saying that he's part of he's of murdering a 5-year-old boy. Uh, yeah.
Are you sure it was an accident?
It was an accident.
You see, that's the thing. I don't think she's believing him. Are you sure it's an accident? You don't lie all this time, and you don't accidentally, pick up a kid down the street when you've been, certainly, in my opinion, searching for children all day long, and then bring them in your home and then duck tie and throw them in a Marlboro duffel bag. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Jesse. Yeah, I think someone read it wrong. I apologize. It happens. I've read it wrong before too. Sorry.
How did Brandon get involved?
Brenda's house was used to store Michael overnight.
Are you gonna cooperate with him and testify?
I would.
Okay. You have to stick to that, buddy, okay?
Trying to find something real quick here.
Well, I'm gonna die in prison.
You're gonna die in prison.
I'm gonna end up getting myself killed. I'm gonna be able to see you again.
You're seeing me right now.
I have been with chance in prison.
Looking for something. Bear with me, guys.
sorry if I don't get to see you again.
You know what, sweetheart?
You remember
You know what, sweetie?
you remember whenever Stacey said on my panel, well, if they're going to blame me for this, they're going to have a uphill battle. Well, you just are talking right there that you shouldn't have been a part of this, all of that, Stacey. Lucko, thank you so much, my friend. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really, really do appreciate you, baby. Good to see you. Thank you so much. I'll welcome Lucko. Appreciate you, my dear. Welcome. Thank you so much. He's faking it all. What a loser. I agree, Jules. I agree, babe. Somebody give him something to cry. Poor Brandy. She was so sick for so long. We have a special guest, y'all. My friend Samantha. How you doing, girl? Oops. Are you there?
Yep.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I'm trying to adjust my headphones real quick. I can't barely hear you.
Oh, you're good. Oops.
There we go. I can hear you now.
There you go. I thank you for coming up. I didn't mean to pressure you or anything like that. I hope I didn't feel that way. So
no, not at all.
Can you believe this guy? I mean, I know you can, but like I know you can't believe him, but I know you can. Just a freaking psycho he is.
He's a monster.
Monster. Yes. He's crying for herself. So that's it.
Yep. Poor Stacey. Always playing the victim, never taking responsibility for anything.
Exactly. And so you were literally in the courtroom.
Yes.
The other day.
Yep.
And
all week last week.
I can only imagine you felt drained. Freaking drained.
It was mentally exhausting for sure.
Brandy and Tyler, they did so good. Like they
did very good in their testimonies and stuff, and then they had one really, really bad day where they had to walk out of the courtroom, and then they came back after lunch, and that was after we heard Stacey Wondra talk with detectives in 9.5 hours of footage from body cam with Juanita Kelleher, Scott Crimmins, and Chris Madonna.
So he talked to the investigators for 9.5 hours in that one.
Well, we watched 9.5 hours of video footage.
Gotcha. Okay. And that was the part that really, there was I guess a part that was that the day Brandy and Tyler had to walk out. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah, some of the information that was coming in, Brandy did a news report with somebody a while back ago because she was just wondering, did Michael cry for me? Did he want his mommy? Did he want his daddy? And so when she started hearing Stacey say things like Adrian and Sarah were yelling at him, telling him to shut up when he was screaming and yelling for his mommy, and then Sarah Wondra told Michael that his mama didn't love him anymore, and all of that just broke Tyler, and they left. And No.
I can't even, uh, I don't know how people have self-control. I don't know how, like, I don't know how they have self-control when it comes to something like that. Because
Yep.
I truly understand why parents go over top sometimes in the courtroom.
Hmm.
I mean,
There were times you could see Tyler so Monkey had this little tiny Spider-Man that he used to play with. And Brandy told me that the Spider-Man she has now was the Spider-Man she was going to leave him before she left to go to work that day. And she never did leave it with him. So in the courtroom, she's holding on to Monkey's Spider-Man. She's letting Tyler hold on to the Spider-Man. They're gripping hands. There were times where they would tear up and cry. There were times where they looked very, very angry. Brandy would sit straight up, cross her arms. Times where Tyler had put his head down in his hands, just really gripping a hold of this Spider-Man toy and then clenching his other hand around his fist. I mean, they were incredibly upset, very distraught, and it was very difficult to see them go through that. It really was. It was a very, very, very emotional day. I went in my daughter's car after we left that day, and I broke down for like 5 minutes. I just put my arms up on the dash and just started bawling.
that's so, I mean, it's beyond heavy. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
it's beyond to hear that for 9 hours every day for a week. Uh,
Well, the second day was 9.5 hours of footage. And the first day was a bunch of witnesses. There were um, Tyler went first, then there was Brandy, then there was a scent dog handler. His name was Dustin Witt. Then there was Julie Gibson, who was a cadaver dog handler, another cadaver dog handler. Her name was, I believe, Deborah. And then there was James Smith, which was the guy in the neighborhood that found the tricycle over the bluff. So just a lot of testimony. Captain Jason
mhm.
Hurst, the guy that found the pink tricycle. And then the second day was just footage, 9.5 hours of just Stacey Wondra. And then the last day, Juanita Kelleher. Well,
3
she
days.
actually came in before. Yeah. She actually came in right before the video footage started, and then she gave testimony the next day. She was the first person called up there, but the information that I found out and heard from Juanita Kelleher was just really, really, really disturbing because I found out a lot of information while I was there listening to testimony.
Uh, yeah. Um, and so that 9.5 hours, it was just Stacy sitting there talking to the investigators, and did Mr. Huff,
Hmm.
did he spoke too, didn't he?
Nope, it was
No, he didn't?
no, it was just Detective Scott Crimmins, Chris Madonna, and Juanita Kelleher. And it wasn't an interrogation to the point of a false confession. I will tell
No,
everybody that right now.
it's
Juanita
bullshit.
hugged him at the end. Yeah. Thanked him for letting them know what happened. He was, he started puking at one point, and they asked him if it was because he was chewing, the chew in his lip. And he
Mm,
said, no, it's from, you know, indigestion or something to that effect, and because of his nerves from having to talk about Michael. But then 5 minutes later, he's eating a big old piece of chocolate cake. He was asking for food, wanting to know if there were restaurants nearby. Then he's eating a sandwich. I mean, like, they catered to him, of course,
Sure.
to get the
Get him to talk.
information that they wanted to get from him. Yeah.
Yeah. There is no, I mean, this in front of us right here, Samantha. This is Stacey Wondra telling his mother what happened. This is no false confession whatsoever. This is him
No.
saying, and she's asking, baby, I told you, just tell the truth, and I'll speak to you and all that. I'm here, but you got to tell the truth.
And I praise Tammy. Tammy has done everything she possibly could to get the help that Stacey needed from a very, very young age. And the
This
last
is his adopted
straw,
mom. Mhm.
yes, his adopted mom here. I found out while I was gone, actually from a very reliable source, that her last straw was him killing their family cat.
Shut up.
No, for real. That was the last straw. And that's when she put him in that developmental facility in Montana from like 2014 to 2016 until the state shut it down for, abuse and stuff that was going on inside the developmental center. But yeah, I did not know that. All I know is that Tammy's done everything she possibly could to help him, and she shouldn't feel
She
at
has
fault for anything that he has done.
she has went above and beyond what a lot of people would do. You know what I mean? I mean, like I said, like she's truly, in my opinion, some of the best of humanity. She took on Stacey when he was a little boy. He had obviously issues. And being of service, being like a foster and adoptive parent, like that's a really good person.
She's the only mother out of all the suspects. I mean, Adrian Lucian's mom, she
She
passed
would.
away a long time ago
Yeah.
before this happened. I believe that she would have also. She was a very good
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
But, Tammy's the only one that's done right in all of this. Tina,
Mhm.
Brandon's mother, and Kay and Ed have done nothing but coddle them.
That's it. So let me pull this up. Adrian Lucien, he is on the far right. That's his mom. She died. And he comes from a good family, like overall. And then Brandon, the guy beside of Adrian, his mom has coddled him, and Michael was in her home. That's where they
Do you want to know something?
took Michael.
We heard testimony from the district attorney that Michael was left outside of Tina Marill's house in the duffel bag. And if you remember correctly, there's a vent on the outside of Tina Marill's house that was in the center of the side of her house. That's exactly where Michael Vaughan was left in the duffel bag, according to the district attorney during closing arguments.
Well, you remember they went with the dogs there. Remember, and the dogs hit, right? the dogs hit, and
Tina,
she said she made up an excuse that it was a toilet leaking.
yep, and that they were smelling poop from her leaky toilet. And Mountain Search and Rescue came out and said that our dogs are not trained to hit on human feces. Our dogs only hit on human
Cadaver.
remains, or the cadaver. What is it? Residual scent, which is the scent that's left behind once a body has been moved, and that's what was found at Tina Marill's house, Brandon's mother's house, and at the Wandra's house.
It's they are picked up 2 scents. It's called cadaverine and putrescine. That's the smell of decompose. It's the chemicals in the decomposing when we die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing to me that Brandon's mom, knowing that Michael was in a Marlboro duffel bag, laid out at her house, when she told her son not to come there. Don't come to the house while I'm gone. Not only did she, did they come to her house, they came for the worst thing imaginable. Unaliving a child, a 5-year-old, innocent.
Yeah, and talking about that Marlboro duffel bag,
I was trying to.
We heard in court Juanita Kelleher was one of the detectives that worked on Michael Vaughan's case, and during her testimony, she said that Brandon Shurtleff was interviewed by her, and Stacey Wondra during that 9.5-hour footage had told Juanita and Chris Madonna and detectives that it was either an orange or a red duffel bag. So she asked Brandon during the interview, what did you own, like a red or an orange duffel bag? And he said he owned a red Marlboro duffel bag. And then right after that, asked her, have you found it yet?
Well, we asked him that. Remember? Remember? We asked him. We said, Brandon. I asked Stacey as well. I said, Brandon, where's that duffel bag? The one you kept your clothes in. We knew better than that, Samantha.
Brandon, does this Marlboro red duffel bag look anything like the Marlboro duffel bag that you owned when Michael was abducted? Hey, Brandon.
Yeah. Stacey told me, he said, there's no way that even a child could have fit in a duffel bag like that. And, I've worked in 3 different funeral homes, and I have seen a lot, Samantha. And I can tell you without a doubt, a 5-year-old could fit in a duffel bag very, very easily. Not a problem.
Oh, I totally believe. I mean, out of everything, if you look back, you know that all the suspects have lied. They've thrown each other under the bus and everything else. There are certain things that have not changed, and that's the fact that Michael was duct taped. He was put into a duffel bag. He was taken to Cuna. He was brought back to Fruitland the next day. He was buried in the Wanderer's backyard and then moved to whatever unknown location. And I believe that Brandon Shurtleff is the one with all the answers there and knows exactly where Michael is.
Yeah, Brandon is the one that knows, in my opinion. He's the one that knows. Right here, the one with the sandy blonde hair. He's the one that knows where Michael is right now. Hey, Minky.
And then Sarah's probable cause affidavit, I thought it was the same probable cause affidavit, but the two first pages are the same. The rest of her probable cause affidavit is not the same as Stacey Wondra's. And in that
Really?
probable cause affidavit, they mention the fact that Sarah was at home during the time that Stacey was incarcerated. It's almost like they are pointing the finger at Sarah also as someone that could have moved Michael. So in my opinion, I don't only think that Brandon's the only one. I think Sarah may have helped him or
I think
asked
they
him
did it
to.
perhaps did it together. I mean, I certainly think she asked him. Certainly. But I think as far as I think Brandon is number one to know where Michael is, but I think I agree with you. Sarah is part of that as well. Still yet today, we do not know where after they removed him from the backyard. We have no idea where Michael is today. Only, in my opinion, Brandon and Sarah.
Another interesting fact that I found out, this was actually the one thing I found out at the preliminary hearing that was big to me, was hearing that a cadaver dog hit on the white Lexus from the Wandra's house. The same Lexus that Stacey was in that day when he went to the splash pad. And we also learned, it does mention in the probable cause affidavit, so Stacey says his shoe fell to the floorboard. He got out of his Lexus at the splash pad, walked around, got his chew can, got back in. Probable cause affidavit tells us that he got out of his vehicle, he walked around, and he tested and was lifting the handle to see if it was locked. In testimony given by Juanita Kelleher, not only did he lift the handle to see if it was locked, he started looking around in the area to see if anybody was looking, and then faces children that were playing in the park and waves at them.
Ooh, I didn't know he waved. Oh my God. That's even creepier. He does not need to be
this
in
was
a
a planned day.
Oh, it was. It was.
No.
Like they were hunting, Samantha. They were hunting. They went to the mall. You know how many, like, you know, it's like,
Right.
What's his name? John.
Young adolescents at the mall.
From America's Most Wanted. I can't think of his name. John. His son, Adam, went missing.
Yes. Yes.
At the mall. You know, I mean, these bad things happen at the mall, you know, like this. They were hunting. That is crazy. Walsh, thank you, John Walsh. Yeah. Son Adam went missing at the mall. Was taken. Hey, the jab.
Have you heard all of the details that Stacey Wondra said about Michael coming into the house? I mean, it's kind of triggering, but I can tell you what we heard in court.
Please. Guys, just a trigger warning. This is really, really heavy stuff.
It's not going to be good, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, protect your mental health. If you have a problem, come back in like 5 minutes. But Stacey Wondra says that Adrian and Sarah walk into the house. Sarah Wondra is holding Michael.
Can you hold on 1 second? I got a question about that. Because the guy that they put out, that's Brandon. You know what I mean?
Walking the neighborhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
right.
A little confusing for me. I
So when he says that Adrian and Sarah walk into the house with Michael, he also because his story changed multiple times, and at one point he said when they walked in, then Brandon also walked in. So, but he said he didn't know where Brandon was, which I thought was kind of odd. So at one point he makes it sound like it's just Sarah and Adrian, and then at another moment he almost in reference says something about Brandon also walking into the house.
got you.
Yes. And he was out walking the neighborhood between 6 and 6:30. He tells law enforcement that he's out looking for a missing child. But the thing with that is Michael hadn't even been reported missing until
Yeah.
7:21, almost an hour later.
Yes, he couldn't have been looking for a missing child. Michael wasn't even abducted yet. Because it was between, what,
Exactly.
6:40 and 7:00. So
Yeah,
this
and
is the
Stacey gave
photo that they're
testimony,
looking at. We're looking at right
or
here,
not testimony, because
his interview.
Stacey didn't testify in court, but watching the footage
Mhm.
that he was doing with detectives, he says something about them coming into the house between 6:30 and 6:45, and then he says 6:45. So he's kind of going back and forth on this time that he believes that Sarah came in the house with Michael. And so they couldn't have been in the house for very long because CCTV camera sees them leaving the neighborhood at 7:08 p.m., about 20 to 25 minutes later.
Which tells us a lot, right? It tells us
Mhm.
they were on a mission, right? That tells us after they got Michael in the house, they duct taped him and all of this very quickly and got the hell out of Dodge.
Right. I think panic set in. One, because whoever came, so I'm not going to go by Stacey's story. I'm just going to say whoever did come in the house with Michael shocked everybody because they had all been out looking for somebody. Nobody was successful. And now all of a sudden somebody's came in the house. Brandon Shurtleff, when I got him on panel, said that there was some panic sitting in and a huge argument that happened
That's right.
that night. And I think when somebody brings Michael in and they all find out that he's from that neighborhood, I think that's where panic set in. And then you have Michael, who is very high pitched in just his regular everyday voice. And now he's in their house screaming for his mom.
Yes.
And they cannot get him to stop screaming and crying.
And that sets more panic in.
Yes. And more panic starts to set in. They hand him a dog toy to play with. Stacey Wondra describes it as a green monkey dog toy to play with.
The fucking asshole.
And in Stacey Wondra's probable cause affidavit, it mentions that an ear of a green stuffed animal was found in the Wondra's yard, and Kay, Sarah's mom, threw it in the garbage.
That's right. Yes. Yes, I remember that now. Yes.
So as he's talking to detectives in this footage that we watched in court, he says that it was a green monkey, like stuffed animal type dog toy that he says Sarah gave to Michael to play with to try to get him to calm down.
Didn't Michael ride a tricycle for a little bit? Someone asked.
Stacey Wondra said that they used a tricycle to lure Michael.
That was in the garage. that was in the garage, their garage.
Yes.
Remember how
So,
forever
let
we had heard about a tricycle and
mhm.
we didn't get it? You know what I mean? Like,
I was actually told to stop talking about the tricycle. I was
mhm.
told, "Don't talk about the tricycle." I was like, "Oh, okay. Won't do that then. What did I do?"
Yep.
Like, okay.
Mhm.
Let me explain something to everyone about this tricycle, okay? 2 days after Michael was abducted, Dorothy Starkey, Sarah and Stacy's next door neighbor, says she sees Michael on a tricycle on Red Wing and Meadowlark. In testimony from Carson Starkey last week, he says that he saw a tricycle behind the man gate next to the side of the garage that is between the Starkeys and the Wondras house. Banshee, which is one of the canine scent dogs used by Dustin Witt, who is absolutely amazing. And if you guys, I looked up Merced, California Sheriff's Office and saw all of the amazing work that Banshee had done in her life. What an amazing bloodhound. 320 million scent like receptors.
Mhm.
It's insane. These dogs can hit hundreds of yards away. And Banshee hits on the corner of Red Wing and Meadowlark, right where Dorothy Starkey says she saw Michael, proceeds to lead Dustin, her handler, through yards, making it all the way to the Wanderer's house, hitting on the garage, and hitting on that man gate. The same man gate where Carson Starkey said the tricycle was sitting behind.
Mhm.
Then Banshee leaves the Wanderer's property. She loses interest. She comes back to the Wanderer's house. She gives her final, whatever it was, alert or whatever to Dustin that this is where the trail ends.
Yeah.
And then Dustin and Banshee are put in another location on 8th Street. 8th Street's one way in, one way out between the two subdivisions where the Vaughns live and where the Wanderers live. And if you follow 8th all the way down, there's a large bluff that goes down into fields and stuff.
Mhm.
Banshee immediately heads down 8th, gets to the dirt road that leads to the bluff, goes straight down, takes a left, goes down the game trail, tries making it through all of these bushes, sticker bushes and everything. And then finally Dustin had to pull her back. He didn't want his dog to get hurt. And then police start digging in there and they find the stroller. Well, what's
That's next
interesting
to the
about
river,
all of
right?
this is if you were to go a quarter of a mile more through the fields and
Okay.
everything else, you will
It's
hit
toward that way. Yeah.
a freeway and the Snake River. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this James Witt was a man who lived in Three Rivers Way subdivision.
Mhm.
He can see the bluff from his house because it sits up top of the bluff. And he says the area down below is used like a dumping ground. And he goes down there to find things because he likes to tink around with things. And he sees a pink tricycle next to a stroller. Put that together, Banshee hits where the stroller was, but the tricycle had already been taken from there because James takes this tricycle home, takes
That's
the
right.
wheel off because he wants it. Yeah, he wants it for his wheelbarrow. The wheel doesn't fit, so he takes the tricycle to the Bluffs sign, which is like a brick sign in front of his subdivision so the kids can play with. And then Captain Jason Hertz testifies that he found the tricycle behind the Bluffs sign. So this tricycle, every single place this tricycle was, this
They hit.
bloodhound Banshee hit on.
Mm-hmm.
And
hit everywhere.
and then Stacey Wondra says that Michael was lured with this tricycle.
Oh, it's clear
And
as
I'm
day.
just sitting in there. Yeah.
It's clear as day.
I'm sitting there with my mouth dropped, listening to testimony. I'm remembering everything in the probable cause affidavit. I'm putting everything together, and I'm like, wow, even Carson Starkey testifies it's, behind the gate where Banshee hits.
That's amazing. That's phenomenal.
I just
Some
have to say,
questions.
it was the most fascinating thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That people were asking while you were talking about this. Nana, thank you so much. I appreciate you very, very much. If you received one of those memberships from Nana, make sure you give our girl a big thank you. And Dreamcatcher, thank you so much. If you received one of those, make sure you thank our dear Dreamcatcher as well. Thank y'all for your support. I do appreciate you. Nana said, Samantha, I have a question. I heard they injected him with insulin. Is that true?
We heard last week that there was an inmate, maybe more than one inmate, because I know that more than one inmate was subpoenaed, that an inmate said that Stacey Wondra had told him that they injected him with insulin. And if anybody remembers, if anybody came over to my channel, Brandy Vaughan was up on panel confronting Stacey Wondra, and one of the questions she asked him was if Sarah took insulin, because not all type 2 diabetics take insulin.
That's
and
right.
Stacey said yes.
I forgot about that.
Like,
oh
Justin,
my God.
these
I forgot about that.
all these
Samantha.
puzzle pieces started coming together for me last week. It was all of the puzzle pieces, all of the unanswered questions that I've had. It was just crazy to see. I mean, 9.5 hours of Stacey Wondra, you don't even want to see that. I mean, he went around on his YouTube shit show for a minute. Thank God he wasn't gagging and all of this other stuff, but he did change his story over and over and over and over again before he finally gives that last, little pieces that they were looking for. But like I said earlier, there are things that have just never, ever changed.
Yeah.
Stacey Wondra
there's
says that when they
never
pulled
changed.
over, and Stacey says they pulled over to the side of the road to do the power steering fluid. But in actuality, they pulled over to the side of the road there on 8th and Arizona because Michael was screaming in the duffel bag and he wanted Brandon to get out and check on him. And then Brandon gets up on my panel and says he got out of the truck. Nobody had ever heard he had gotten out of the truck before.
He hadn't.
And
Yeah.
then
Never said that.
Yeah,
They
and
said
then
that
you hear
it
it
was
in the
just him.
probable cause affidavit.
So people's confused about the insulin. So Sarah,
Mm-hmm.
right here, the woman in the photo, she is Stacey, the guy that's went to trial that was right beside of her in this photo. He had been on Samantha's panel here with Brandy, the mother of Tyler, or the mother of Michael Vaughn, sorry. And one of the questions Brandy asked was Sarah diabetic? And he said yes. And then while Stacey was in jail, he had allegedly told one of the inmates that they injected Michael with insulin.
Yeah, well, Brandy asked him if
Brandy.
Sarah took insulin,
Yeah.
or Brandy asked Stacey if Sarah took insulin.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear about, these inmates saying that Stacey was saying they injected Michael with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, the thing to me that's important about that too is that Stacey Wondra was arrested not 2 or 3 days after coming up on my panel. He said something.
Oh, yeah.
He said something that made law enforcement go pick him up and lock him away, at least to spend, the rest of his time out before actually arresting him. But
you said not Carson. What's Carson's?
Dorothy.
What's the other? Dorothy, or maybe you said Carson. 2 days after Michael had went missing, she had seen Michael.
In the probable cause affidavit, Stacey's probable cause affidavit, it says that Dorothy Starkey came forth on July 29th and told investigators that she saw Michael on a tricycle on the corner of Red Wing and Meadowlark, and that's where Banshee hit.
So 2 days after Michael
even
went
if you
missing,
play devil,
2 days after Michael went missing,
she reports it.
She reports it. Okay. Not that he was obviously alive after 2 days. Okay. I just wanted to clear that up.
And I've talked about Dorothy Starkey before because we know that Dorothy and Carson are both RSOs. And even if you want to play devil's advocate here and you don't want to believe anything that Dorothy says and you don't want to believe anything that Carson says, the dog still hit on that corner and still hit on that fence. Exactly.
Yep. Believe the dog's nose. Dog has no reason to lie.
And I heard Carson Starkey himself tell Brooks from Crime Lines and Lies that he saw a tricycle at the Wondras. I was on that telephone call.
So the tricycle was in the garage, and it was, I think they said they were going to use it for like a garage sale, or it was, it was just one of those things that was left over from Sarah's mom. Right?
So the story about how this tricycle gets there is that Kay and Ed, Sarah Wondra's mom and dad, adoptive parents, went for a walk in the neighborhood, found the tricycle, brought it back to the Wondra's house because they owned that house, and they used half of their garage to store things because they're constantly collecting things. And so they brought the tricycle back to their house and stored it on top of a bunch of boxes. Then another lady comes forward after Michael Vaughan's abduction and says that in the spring of 2021, she saw it on top of a pile of boxes during a garage sale that the Wondras were having. And then you hear Stacey talking to Chris Madonna in the confession footage. When Chris Madonna asks him where the tricycle is, he says it should be on top of the boxes in the garage because that's where Chris Madonna was.
Yeah, he was, because Chris was going through all of that, and Stacey was telling him where everything was. Oh my God. Oh my God. So
I think we'll find out a lot more information during trial about this bike or this tricycle, because it plays such a huge part in all of this.
And they dumped that tricycle down there.
Somebody from that house dumped that tricycle because Carson Starkey said he saw the tricycle at the Wond's house after Michael Vaughan's abduction. So somebody put it down that bluff before James Smith found it down there.
So is it a fact that
they
took a shovel in back of the truck to Kuna the night they took him?
Yes, during the interview with Stacey by detectives, it was mentioned that Michael was put in the bed of the GMC truck in a duffel bag, and that they also took a roll of duct tape and a shovel.
That's so weird because if you were going to sell him like they had originally planned, right? Why are you taking a shovel?
Mm-hmm. Exactly what I said when I found out that information and talked about it. Why are you taking a shovel if you're going to keep them alive and you're going to sell them? The thing is Michael panicked and they panicked. They panicked. But then you also have Adrian Lucian, because I was talking, I will only say the initial J. I was talking to Adrian Lucian's best friend for many, many, many months, probably almost a year. And one night he started talking to Adrian in Instagram messages, and he sends me all of these messages. I'm on the phone with him. We're asking him questions. Adrian Lucian says the price went up, sacrifice gone wrong. And those two things really stood out to me, because we know Sarah, Stacey, Brandon, everybody, they're always out for a buck. So if they take a child, does that mean he's worth more money? Did they want more money and then the price goes up, and
What
whoever was going to buy Michael decides, we're not paying more, just forget the whole thing, and then they're stuck with Michael? Now
they were
what?
doing they were doing a scam with some what app was it?
In court this last week, I heard from Stacey Wondra in those 9.5 hours that they were putting together Snapchat profiles and stuff and using girls' pictures as fake profiles to scam people out of money.
Yeah, it was Sarah and Adrian.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
They were always trying to scheme something. Always.
Always.
I think Stacey's story is the modest version of what happened that they come up with. Oh, I agree. I agree, Idaho Sunrise. I agree. So that
Oh yeah,
makes a
because he
lot.
deflects away from doing anything.
Oh yeah, he wants nothing to see here. I didn't do nothing. I was just there.
He says in the confession, in his footage that we watched, he says that when Sarah brings him in, he's just pissed. He said, "Why the F did you do this?" And he goes into his bedroom. And the only reason that he knows that Michael was duct taped is because he hears this loud, you know how you pull duct tape from a roll and then he goes whoosh, and makes the sound. And then he said when he then saw Michael again, Michael had duct tape on him. But then he describes in more detail about how the duct tape went round and round his legs, and they did his hands and mouth. And so it's like he just goes back and forth. It's like, were you in
Yeah.
your room,
Well,
or did
except
you see everything?
he drove the Kuna with them.
Exactly. And that's what ultimately, besides his own words, that caught the eye, I believe, of the court last week. Because here's the thing, you have a decision once Michael's brought into the home, if you didn't do the
Yes.
kidnapping, to call 911 to report it. He says he told Adrian and Sarah they needed to call 911. What? Does that even make sense?
No.
You think Adrian, Lucian, or Sarah, would those words even come
You
out
call
of Stacey's
911,
mouth?
Stacey. You call 911.
Right? He could have even texted 911.
He could have said,
He
"What
had
the
a
fuck is
decision then.
going on?" That's what I said.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's crazy. Good.
the district attorney, when he was given, closing arguments and talking in court, just the fact, okay, okay, so Stacey doesn't call 911. Then he makes the decision to grab the shovel and duct tape and put it in the back of the truck. Then he makes the decision to get in the truck. Then he makes the decision, say the truck did need power steering fluid, to put power steering fluid in a truck to make sure that the truck gets to Cuna, once again, playing a role in making sure that
He said
Michael
he
is
said he was the
making
one
it
that got
to
out of the
Cuna.
truck. He said he was the one that got out of the truck to change it on the corner there.
Mm-hmm. Right, and he gives testimony that he pulled over to the side of the road, but then he also says that it was also to check on Michael because he was screaming.
But look
But
what Greeneye
during
says.
closing arguments,
Stacey says he saw a kid playing down the street. Remember, like 8 houses down.
mm-hmm,
Remember
yep,
that?
which was
So
impossible for him to see.
impossible. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Stacey goes to Cuna, knowing what they're doing. And there's a whole new version about everything. So Michael, Stacey says Adrian and Sarah come in with Michael. Sarah's holding Michael tightly because he's squirming and he's wanting loose, and she's having to hold him and grip him tightly. Then she sits him on the edge of the brown couch towards the end of the couch, where Michael then kind of is giving himself a hug, sitting there like terrified, kind of with his knees up a little bit. He's screaming and yelling. They are telling him to shut up. Adrian Lucian says, "I'm the boss. I said shut up." Sarah's telling Michael, "Your mom doesn't love you. Shut up." And he keeps screaming for his mom. When they can't quiet him down, trigger warning, they lay Michael on the floor in front of the couch and proceed to wrap the bottom of his feet and legs, his hands, put tape over his mouth. They put him into a duffel bag that Michael does not fit in, and they have to push his legs in, and they're cramming him, basically bending him to get him to fit in this duffel bag. And then they take clothes and put it on top of Michael.
They are so fucking evil. Yeah, I mean,
They put him
honestly,
in a truck on a over 100-degree day
it was
to ride
exceptionally
in the
hot
back
that
of the
day.
truck. And we also heard testimony by one of the other people that was talking. I can't remember who it was. It was when the district attorney gave his closing arguments. He said that Stacey had mentioned that they were listening to loud music. So because the defense is going off kind of like, they're just going to put Michael in a duffel bag in the back of the truck and drive around
Yep.
while a kid's squirming and moving and
Mhm.
screaming. They used music in the car and
Yep.
turned it up to muffle the sound of Michael.
Do you remember my question to Stacey? I said, "Stacey, what was the conversation on the way to Cuna?"
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? I asked him that
Yep.
because I
Yep.
knew they had Michael. And I said, "Stacey, what was the conversation between you, Sarah, and Brandon?" And I can't remember what he said. He said, no,
They
he
were
did
just
say,
listening and jamming out to music.
yeah, that's what he said. We were just listening and jamming out to music. Didn't really talk.
Yep.
I knew. Those evil motherfuckers, man.
All of it's horrible. This is so tragic. And to be there watching the Vaughan family just broke
It's,
me.
unimaginable.
I remember that I came back and I did a live that night and I was crying during the live and everything. And I told everybody, I'm like, I wasn't going to go live because I'm super emotional. But no, I decided to come up here, give you guys the real raw emotion of what we're all going through right now. Because it was some pretty heavy stuff going on. And it was hard. Brandy, you know, when I got there, I told her, I was like, listen, you do not have to be the hostess with the mostest while I'm there. I'm not expecting you to invite me over for dinner or anything. Don't even worry about me. You take care of you. Every single day after court, Brandy invited me over to her house, and I saw her 2 times. We visited for a few hours at her house because the status conference was on Monday. It was at 11 a.m. and it lasted for barely 15 minutes. We visited with Brandy at her house for a few hours that day. And then we had dinner with them the night before we left. Those are the only 2 times that I spent quality time with them outside the courtroom. The rest of the time was seeing her, you know, during breaks, potty breaks, lunches, and everything, just hanging outside the courthouse talking. But I mean, Brandy was doing a lot of interviewing and everything else, but she's so kind-hearted. She just, you know, out of the kindness of her heart, she wanted to have me and my daughter over every single day. But I just had to keep telling her, babe, you had a very, very long, rough day. Like, I'm just going to let you go home, relax, be with your husband, cry if you need to, do whatever it is that you need to do, you know, because I didn't want her to think that she needed to tend to me and worry about me, you know. Yes, I was there to support her. And if she had needed me, she knew she could call me and I would
Of
come,
course. Of
no matter
course.
what, you know. But I knew they needed their family time. I knew they were broken. You could see it. It was written all over their face.
I wonder, because obviously, Brandon was watching this, and Adrian.
Oh, I
I wonder
totally
what.
believe that they're watching.
Oh, they're watching now. You know they are. They watch everything. Everything.
Everything.
I wonder how they're feeling. I hope really fucking uncomfortable.
Oh, I bet you they are. I already know that Sarah Wondra is not happy because Stacey Wondra threw her under the bus as the main culprit in all of this. She's pissed. She's emotional. She's very, very aggravated by it. And, you know, Brandon has a choice because if she's aggravated and she knows where Michael is, does he really think she's just going to sit there and not tell police exactly what happened when she's the one being blamed? If she's not the one who did it, she's going to say what happened and where Michael is and get a deal.
The jig is up.
And
I mean, it's up. It's
yes,
it's time to speak.
it's a race to
and
the finish line right now. Who's going to get the first, you know,
yes,
who's going to get the first, what am I trying to say? Get the first deal.
yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. Brandon and Sarah need to be, in my opinion, calling the prosecutor yesterday to say where Michael is, because you know,
Right,
I mean, even Brandy said she would ask for more mercy, even if she would, you know, they would just say where Michael is.
Right. That's how bad she wants her baby home. She's tired of wondering where her son is, where he was put, what happened to him. She wants her baby home. She wants to lay him to rest. They deserve that little bit of peace because Lord knows after each one of these guys are arrested and charged, there's not going to be peace for a long time because looks to me like they're sending them to trial separately.
Yeah. And I mean, to me, they deserve death. There's nobody that deserves it more, in my opinion. They're not going to get that because of the situation, but to me, that's what they deserve.
Sarah Wondra is terrified. She's terrified of the death penalty. She doesn't want the death penalty. It scares her to no end. And right now, I think she knows she's looking at the death penalty because we found out that this last October, she did go before the, what is it called? Anyway, she's supposed to get out in October of 2026, and she's not being let out a free woman. There is a warrant and a hold for her. She will be charged with first degree murder, second degree kidnapping as soon as she's released.
Yep. She's not.
Oh, she went in front of the parole board in this last October, and that's when they said that she would be released, but on hold. So she ain't going nowhere, and she knows it.
I don't think this will be any of them will be a death case unless they get Michael's body. Now, if they get Michael's body, there may, but if they go without a body, there's not going to be a death penalty case.
Yeah. And I mean, and there's so much stuff that they've done after Michael, was abducted. They tried selling their furniture. They let their truck get repoed. They sold one of their cars. Brandon Shirtliff, I heard this last week. He was steam cleaning the carpet in the living room the beginning of August. Just 6-7 days after Michael was abducted. He's steam cleaning. They're destroying SIM cards. They're selling phones. Huh?
Yeah, you remember we've got photos the day after Michael's abducted in their house. Remember the roll I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
With him showing? There's photos of inside their house the day after Michael was abducted.
Yeah, and if you go back and you look on their social media, that was also said in court this last week that they had gone onto their social media and deleted a bunch of different posts.
Mm-hmm.
But law enforcement was on to them early on.
Well, the dog took them right there.
And we didn't realize that.
Yeah, dog took them right there. But
they went and talked to them before the dog even hit, because they went and interviewed all 4 of them. Adrian Lucian was hiding in the closet. That was October 1st. Banshee hits on their house August 2nd.
That's right. I forgot about that. Why are you hiding if you got nothing to hide?
Yeah. Yeah, also when Sarah's probable cause affidavits, Tina Marill reported, which is Brandon Shirtliff's mom, reported to police that Brandon was avoiding all phone conversations or phone calls from law enforcement, and that he had to make a phone call and talk to Sarah to verify their story before he went to talk to law enforcement.
We got to get our story straight, is what he said. Got to get our story straight. So they were, we know that they were hiding phones or throwing away phones or SIM cards or stuff like that as well.
Destroying SIM cards, selling phones, getting rid of phones, getting rid of text messages, a lot of metadata. They found it all.
I agree, Idaho.
Sure that they did. Anyway.
And it's taken
because that was just a preliminary hearing.
Yeah, and you're going to learn a lot more in trial.
Right. 20,000 pages of discovery is also what I learned last week. And the discovery is all the evidence. 20,000 pages of it.
I can't imagine and you see that is what's relevant to the case. Can you imagine all the
Mhm.
things that they had to go through and sort out if they have
Right.
20,000 pages? Millions.
Mhm.
Millions.
And don't forget, the district attorney had told Brandy, we're going after all of them. We're going to be doing this soon. And then it took almost 8, 9 months for the charges to come out. And I think it's because of exactly that, having to go through all the tips, the leads, decipher, okay, what information are we going to use as discovery? What information are we not going to use? And they still end up with 20,000 pages of discovery.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
some, the defense said. 20,000 pages of discovery and then some. I was just, wow.
And, the Cold Case Foundation worked really hard on this as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
Chris McDonough and them. Yeah. Like they.
Well, Chris McDonough actually did his interview and went over to the Vaughn
Mhm.
house and did just a talk interview with Tyler Vaughn. It's up on his channel. And he does that. He's trying to show that Tyler had nothing to do with Michael's abduction, like the
Oh
rumors
my
that have
god.
been spread. And
It's
there was no
ridiculous.
time to hurt Michael, to get rid of Michael within this short period of time that they know he had. I mean, we know Michael Vaughn wandered away from the house, heard last week neighbors saw him walk. So Michael had just gotten a pair
Yeah.
of flip-flops. It was hard for him to walk in those flip-flops. So not only did neighbors report to Juanita Kelleher that they saw Michael and that he came to their house, they also
Mhm.
talked about how when he was walking away, his flip-flops were falling off his feet and he had to keep trying to put them back on. We know Michael wandered away from the house.
Samantha, I won't even entertain it anymore. I to be honest with you, like I will not entertain people who even say like Tyler could have done this. You know what I mean? Yeah,
He's broken.
oh, yeah. It's just crazy to
He's
me.
absolutely broken.
Yeah.
You know, I made it my mission, okay, before I left here. Bless you, baby. Um,
Bless
I made it my mission before I left here because Tyler's so quiet. He's so standoffish.
you. Mhm.
Plus, here comes a YouTuber coming into town. And I asked Brand, you know, how does Tyler feel about a YouTuber being in town? And she says, you're not a YouTuber to me.
You're not a
You're
YouTuber.
family,
Yeah.
and I still had made it my mission to get him out of his little shell and talk. And I sat right next to him the night before we left while we were eating dinner. Papa had taken us all out to a really amazing, fancy smancy Irish restaurant. And
Aw.
me and Tyler talked the whole entire time, and we had so much in common. That's the first time I had heard Tyler really like jumping into conversation and feeling
Yeah.
comfortable and everything. And it was amazing. It was amazing because, I mean, it's written all over his face. It really is. You can see it when he's given testimony and having to relive that day.
I mean, can you
He says he
imagine?
feels guilty.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Can you imagine? I mean, it's not his fault at all, but,
Mm.
he's a dad and he's changing a diaper, he's trying to order dinner, all of this, and, you know, Michael, he was, they call him, monkey for a reason, right? He's hyper and he wanted to play with his friends and all that. And he gets out. And
Hmm.
that it's not anybody's fault. But just the
Right.
as a, a parent, you're still going to feel that way no matter what anybody says. You're still,
Yeah, and he testified that he saw Michael before he went into the bedroom
yeah.
to change the diaper, to make the phone call to Domino's. He walks back through the house, goes outside, smokes some Mary Jane, and then comes back into the house and can't find Michael. 16 million people in our country raise children smoking Mary J, for one.
Oh, fuck.
40 states in this country have legalized it out of 50 states. And he has been torn apart since his testimony for that. And I just call like BS. And Michael wandered away while he was in the bedroom.
You could listen. I don't smoke marijuana or anything like that, but I don't care if people do or not. This is something that is prescribed now, as well. This is not math, right? It's
Right.
nothing like that.
Exactly.
I mean, truly, the worst thing that could have happened that day, like that Tyler could have done, was order a fucking pizza if he smoked, right? Come on now. Shut up about him smoking weed. Grow
Yeah.
up,
And, well,
people.
and it's
Grow
just
up.
heartbreaking, you know? It's just heartbreaking to know that he feels so guilty for what happened that day because it was on his watch. That's what he says. And you know, I could just definitely see it written all over his face when he gave testimony. He was a nervous wreck before he got onto the stand. He was a nervous wreck after he got off the stand. He made a mistake about what t-shirt Michael was wearing that day because he said Pokemon, and then the prosecutor, the state, so he was like, don't you mean a Minecraft? And then he goes, oh my God, yes, that's what I meant, 100%. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. He's even apologizing to the court, like, of course, because he knew he was just a nervous wreck being up there.
Mm-hmm.
You're reliving that day all over again, and they just kept asking questions, defense is asking questions. Brandy gets up there, all these questions about what they were doing that day, when they went to work, when they talked on the phone, when he came up missing, reliving the day. It was not easy to relive it. And then you're reliving it all week long. And this is going to continue through trial. It's
going
my
to be
heart
worse
breaks
than
for them.
trial. It's going to be worse than
Mhm.
trial.
And Brandy's saying that there is so much more information out there that has not been released that's going to come forward during the trial.
I mean, when we got that probable cause affidavit, Sam, when we did that live, me, you, and then Josh jumped up as well. Like, that was, we lost our minds then. Now this is just crazy. Right?
To see the way that Stacey Wondra talks, he can be talking about Michael Vaughn and the things that are happening to him, and at the same time be very calm, be okay, and even at times laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It's just psychotic. I've never seen anybody so well, and then to see the way he treats Brandy up on panel. I mean, this
Oh, he
guy's
has no
just
conscience.
lost his
He has
mind.
none. He has none.
No
He
remorse at all.
and this is the thing. You know who's the scariest to me? Sarah.
You think Sarah?
Sarah
Yeah.
is
I think
the scariest to me.
the combination of them, yeah, and the
The,
combination of them
yeah,
both, that's
I mean,
just,
they're
you know,
all like gasoline in a match.
that was something else that I heard last week too, that was new to me, was that Juanita Kelleher says, and is talking to Stacey in this footage that we watched. She says, "Why did Brandon say that he saw you and Sarah putting the duffel bag in the basement?" And I thought to myself, there's no basement at the Wanderers. There's no basement. And
Underneath
CUNA,
the house.
so did Juanita mean, so did Juanita mean to say crawl space?
Oh,
Or did Brandon mean to say crawl space? And then you hear Brandon Shurtleff talk about the crawl space on JLR. JLR says, "Hey, Brandon, you used to live at the Wanderers house, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Describe what that house was like." And he was like, "Oh, it was a 3-bedroom, blah, blah, blah." I think he said ranch style home or remanufactured home with a crawl space. And then he goes off
the
talking about this
cats.
crawl space. Yeah.
Yeah.
And JLR even tries to change the subject, and he still keeps talking about this crawl space, and also talking about the fact that cats pee down in there. They leave this crawl space door open. All the cats use it as like their cat litter box.
Who
And then we
leaves
hear
a
something
crawl
like,
space open in the closet or in a bedroom? Nobody.
right,
Absolutely
right.
nobody.
So Juanita says to Stacey that, and then you hear last week, that cadaver dogs don't hit in the crawl space area, but then there's mention in this footage that we watched that the cats used the crawl space for their litter box. And if you look it up,
I
cadaver
think they
dog
did that
scent
intentionally.
can be,
Yeah.
cadaver dog's scent can be disrupted with cat urine because of all of the ammonia that it
The
puts out.
ammonia and the salts. The ammonia and the salts from the urine. I really think that they put the cats down there intentionally
Yeah, and
where they could. Yeah.
in the video footage that we watched, Stacey tells them that Adrian, Brandon, and Sarah all go back to CUNA the next morning after Michael's abducted, that Sarah Wondra accidentally had killed him, and they brought him back to Fruitland, and they buried him in the backyard that day. We're talking the next day when everybody's looking for Michael. Helicopters flying in the air, people are looking. Do you really see people digging a hole? And Juanita Kelleher says, "Stacey, we came to your house and interviewed all 4 of you. We didn't see any dig marks or any holes or anything." And in my personal opinion, I don't believe that Juanita Kelleher thinks that they buried him the 28th. This is my
I agree.
personal opinion. This is my own personal theory. This is nothing that I heard in court, but I believe they brought him back and stored him down in that crawl space
Yep.
for a while
Yep.
before
I
burying
agree.
him in the backyard.
I agree. 1,000%. I agree. They whether they had him in the bag or a tote or something, they had him underneath there. Brandon would not stop talking about it. You don't just bring up underneath your house and cats going underneath there for no reason. You just
Right.
don't. It's just a weird, it's useless
Justin, describe
information
your
if
house
it's,
to me.
what do you mean? Like,
Describe your
like,
house to me.
A
I'll
house?
describe my house for you. I live in a 2-bedroom duplex with a one bathroom, a kitchen, blah, 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 front and
You're not gonna
backyard. My
describe your
backyard's
ba
fenced
you're not
in.
gonna
I have a
describe
beautiful
underneath
ground.
your house,
I'm
is what
not
you're
gonna
saying.
say, oh, and I have a crawl space in the closet of my bedroom.
Yeah,
What?
and cats piss in it,
He
and
says
cats piss
in
in it.
the very first minute of that, oh, Stacy and Sarah had a 3-bedroom ringing manufactured home with a crawl space. What?
Really?
That makes sense. It was because in his mind, the only thing he could think about when he thought back to that house was that crawl space. That is how I look at that. I have
Well, yeah,
thought that
it's
from the
his
very
brain
beginning. I've
registering.
talked about it 1,000 times. Yeah.
Mhm. It's our thought process is what it is. It's how we think, because to lie, you have to think about the actual truth, and you have to think about how to avoid that as well, but your brain will give it up. It'll give up, a lot of clues. What did they say about the drive home that evening, about the towing the car, about pulling over? Did they mention anything about Sarah pulling over to use the bathroom? Is there any events that
He just said that on the way back from Cuna, the toe strap broke. He had to
Mhm.
fix it. Sarah was going to the bathroom. She had to take off her shirt and use it to wipe herself. I know in Sarah's probable cause affidavit, it talks about the fact that Sarah Wondra never talks about putting a shirt back on, because they come into Fruitland and they say that they spoke to people and that they were
Yes.
told that,
Mhm.
you know, a boy in the neighborhood had came up missing. What,
Yeah.
she's just sitting in the car with no shirt on
With
at this
yeah,
time or
within
what?
her bra. Right. Right.
Mhm.
If you
And
pull over
then
to use the bathroom and use your shirt, what you having your tits out? Like, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, and which when you pull back
yeah,
in the neighborhood and there's a child missing and you guys start looking for him, like y'all say, but bullshit. Brandon, okay, after they get home that night, after abducting Michael and all of that, when they get home and they say, uh, they remember Brandon or Stacy, I can't remember, said that Brandon and Sarah go look for Michael for a little bit. Does
right.
does Sarah take him back to Brandon's mom's house again?
I was told by Dan Guthrie and okay, I was told by Brandon's family's friend who worked with Brandon's father, who was part of their family for many, 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 many years, known Brandon since he was a teenager. He was actually the one who contacted me and asked me if I would talk with Brandon. He told me that Brandon had told him that he went back to Cuna that night.
Mhm.
And I got told that by his then girlfriend,
Well,
not
there was a fight
when
that
Michael
night.
was abducted.
There was a fight that
Yes.
evening. And
Yep. And he went home.
yeah, because I think
I believe that.
after they got back home, and they saw the commotion that was going on in this neighborhood, right? That
Mhm.
everyone is looking for Michael.
Just
The pa
imagine Brandon Shirtliff, the coward that he is. He's
Yeah.
paranoid, spagacked out of his frigging gore, losing his shit is what he was doing. And he got the hell out of that house because he knows he's got Michael Vaughn in a duffel bag over at his mom's house. His mom had somebody coming and checking on the house, you know, making sure it was clean, going in, taking care of her house for the month or so that she was gone. He was paranoid. He had to go back. I 100% believe that. Have I ever been able to prove it? Not 100%, but I've been told by two different people that Brandon told them that he went back to Kuna that night.
Well, I mean, first of all, I've never heard the word pagact, and I like that word. Pagact out of his mouth.
We call it spagact here in Washington when you're tweaked out of your mind.
Oh, really?
Spagact. Yeah.
1 second, y'all. You want to go ahead and talk?
Yeah, and something else that I found interesting when I went over Sarah Wondra's probable cause affidavit, it mentions that Sarah and Brandon travel down 9th Street, which is the street that the Vaughan family lives on, and they saw Brandy Vaughan crying. So here we have now 2 suspects in Michael Vaughan's case driving down 9th the night that Michael Vaughan is abducted. To me, it's like, not only are they inserting themselves here, trying to find out what's going on in the investigation, what they know, wondering if they're going to see or hear anything while they're going down there. But then it's like, I believe Sarah Wondra because she has always wanted to kidnap somebody. Her ex-husband came actually up here on Justin's panel, or no, it was Josh's from the labs panel, and said that Sarah Wondra wanted to kidnap people. It was one of the reasons why why they got divorced, because it was really creeping him out. And I think Sarah Wondra drove down 9th and saw Brandy crying, and I think she kind of got off on that, like a very
1,000%.
sick individual.
She's a sick bitch. Sick bitch. As sick as they get.
Did you hear about that? Them driving down 9th Street and looking at Brandy Vaughan cry the night that Michael came up missing?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh my God, my heart was broken. I just, all I could imagine was just like these 2 creeps getting off on that, and then, just inserting themselves in whatever way they could to find out what was going on. That's where they went to go for a drive. They weren't driving around that neighborhood looking for Michael. They were driving around that neighborhood looking at Brandy Vaughan and the family, trying to figure out what was going on. And it's just so much information is just coming out. I mean, even this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Justin.
No, I was just
like this interview.
Sorry, there's a delay.
We both do it again.
It's okay. It's okay. Go ahead. Go. No, you go. Because you got the deets.
So I was just gonna say, just like this interview here that FaceTime with his mom. She asks him in the very beginning of this FaceTime, "Where are you?" And he says, "In my pod." And she goes, "Are you by yourself?" And he says, "Yes." He's in a pod. He's by himself, and he's telling his mom everything he pretty much just gets done telling to law enforcement. And this isn't, an interrogation to the point of a false confession. It's just not.
An interrogation with a false confession is one of those things where there is this huge amount of high pressure. This is not that. But so what I was saying is, I think that, like I said, after they got home that evening and they saw all the search, all the police out and all that, I do think Brandon and them wigged out, and I think Sarah, in my opinion, drove him back, and I think she got back home probably very in the early hours of the morning. And we know that Stacey had his alarm set for early in the morning, and I think that
I forgot about that.
Yes, he had his alarm set because they got home at like 12 something, I think it was. I can't remember, Bless you.
It was like 11:30, something like that.
Yeah, and that's when they said they went out to look. They didn't go out to look. They took Brandon back because he's a puss.
Hmm.
And Sarah got back, and they had their alarm set. And I think Sarah, maybe Stacey, went back to Kuna again early that morning.
Right. Well, and the
Was it
thing is
6?
too, so
Sorry.
when they went back the next day, I don't know what time it was. Oh,
It was
11.
like 6 or
I
8,
thought he
something like
said
that.
7.
It was early.
I
It
don't
was
know.
early. And it
I
was
can't
before
remember
9.
that far back. Yeah, I do remember it being early, but gosh, that was a long time ago. That was like Crime Lines and Lies when he said that about setting his alarm that morning. But here's the thing to
Yep,
me,
I've
like
got it
going
on his
back to the
phone.
cadaver dog.
I've got it on his phone
What?
where where he's got his alarm set.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to just really,
I
really,
sent
really go
You gotta
through
go through all that.
that.
I sent that to you. There's a lot
Yeah,
of information on that.
I don't know
Mhm.
that you did send it to me. I think we went.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
know
I did.
me, you, and Crime Sleuthing went over it, but I don't think I have it myself.
No, I sent it to you just, when you was headed to Idaho, remember? When you called me when I was live and you said, "Where did they pull over?" Remember that? And I sent you the link?
Oh, it's in that link? Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I remember that now. My
Yeah.
mind was going a million miles an hour
I
before
know,
I
I
left,
know.
so forgive me
You
for
was
that.
No, you're good.
I was a nervous wreck.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
But going back to the cadaver dog hitting on the Lexus, here's the thing.
Oh, mhm.
Because I think this is huge. If a cadaver dog, I'm not saying if, a cadaver dog did hit on residual scent on the Lexus. Let's just make that perfectly clear. It happened.
Yes.
And I am fascinated by search dogs, cadaver dogs, scent dogs, all of them, because I had to do a lot of research about a certain scent dog handler in the Kyron Horman case, and it led
Oh.
me, I'm like fascinated by this stuff now.
Mhm.
Anyway, there's only 2 ways that they hit or alerted on that Lexus with Michael Vaughan scent. And that is that, okay, let me back
Ah.
up. Don't know if it was Michael Vaughan scent, but cadaver dogs did hit there.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
assuming it was Michael Vaughan
unless
scent
there's other
because of,
bodies that they've you know what I mean? I
right?
mean, come on.
So either it was when they went to Cuna the next day and brought Michael's body back to Fruitland, or when Michael was moved from the Wanderer's
Yes.
backyard
Yep.
to whatever unknown location. This is the only 2 times that could
Yep.
have happened.
That we're aware of, yeah.
So the Lexus was used to transport Michael at one
When
time
did
or
the
another.
Lexus leave? When did the Lexus leave? Because they had the
The home of
Escalade,
the Wanderers?
the Lexus, and the Toyota, right?
Right. And from my understanding, the GMC truck that they took Michael to Cuna in was repoed. It was spotless, according to the probable cause affidavit. Cleaned,
Yes.
inside and out, reported to law enforcement. And then I have heard that they sold the Lexus.
I think he told
Don't
me, or
know.
maybe it was Brooke or someone that he sold it. But I
Yeah, I
do know
have
that it was
yet to be
clean.
able to verify that. I did
Um,
just recently get divorce documents though, and I'm about to go over them because I think it mentions
hmm.
vehicles in it.
Well, you know something? I'll have to talk to you privately about something, but I've not looked into it, but I can find out. I
Okay.
can find, every vehicle every one of them has ever owned, uh, from the time any vehicle, from their first vehicle to their current day vehicle.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I'm just wondering what happened to the Lexus. Where it was,
yeah,
well, it
I'll
doesn't
I'll
matter.
look
Law
into that.
enforcement found it, and a cadaver dog hit on it. So, the suspects can't run from that. And I would beg to differ with anybody that wants to say that these dogs aren't good at their jobs. These dogs are excellent. It was fascinating hearing from the testimony. None of the dogs, not the scent dog or the 2 cadaver dogs, and remember, 5 cadaver dogs hit at the Wondras house, so only 2 testified last week, and they were both adamant that their dogs do not. False alert. These dogs have been trained in a way that that doesn't happen, because if it happens, then they're no longer credible and can't be used again.
Mhm. I
None
think
of
the
these
dog is
dogs,
only
not
as good
even
as
the
their
scent dog.
handler.
Mhm.
I
Exactly.
think it's the handler a lot of times, not the dogs. When we get
Yeah.
those, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. But I mean, Nancy Grace,
The way
she said that she would trust a dog on the stand before she would anybody else.
this is what these dogs are trained to do from the time they're 6 to 8 weeks old.
Oh, they live for
This
it.
is their
That's what they
lives.
live for. And
Yes.
like Mohawk said, a bloodhound will not stop tracking till the handler stops for it to take a break. Can I show this video that you did, Samantha?
You can show
With the
everything you want to show of mine. I don't care.
with the dog handler. Hold on one second. Let me show you this.
Yeah.
This is interesting, y'all. Take a look at this. Samantha does such an incredible job.
A senior sergeant from California and his canine Banshee, a trailing scent dog. The FBI contacted Dustin Witt and Canine Banshee after collecting scent articles from Brandy Vaughan. Using Michael Vaughan's shoe, Dustin used a scent transfer unit. It is a portable battery-operated vacuum device used by law enforcement to collect, concentrate, and preserve human scent evidence from crime scenes or objects onto sterile pads for training dogs. It prevents contamination and allows scent to be stored for 11 years or up to, enabling dogs to start trails hours or even days after an incident. Canine Banshee is a bloodhound and was trained in scent discrimination. Dustin uses a 15-foot lead and can tell when Banshee is tracked. He was given 6 to 8 locations to go over during the course of 2 days, August 2nd through the 3rd, when looking for Michael Vaughan. Banshee was deployed and showing interest on the corner of Red Wing and Meadowlark. Dustin could tell by the way Banshee swung her head from left to right. Banshee began heading west on Red Wing, cutting through yards and eventually showing interest at 1102 Red Wing, at the fence between the Starkeys and the Wondras, and at the garage door. Dustin followed Banshee away from the Wondras, and Banshee lost interest and went directly back to the garage at the Wondras house. Dustin said that Banshee let him know the scent trail had ended there. Banshee and Dustin were given another location to start from on 8th Street. Banshee took Dustin to the end of 8th Street and the Bluff area, trailing him down a dirt road where Dustin describes a rough terrain to the left at the bottom of the dirt road. Banshee was showing interest and followed a game trail that led to a thick, dense bush. Dustin said because he didn't know if there was some kind of drop off or any other dangerous things, he pulled Banshee back. Banshee was determined to get through the rough sticker bushes. At risk, missing person located by Sheriff Bloodhound. Deputy Dustin Witt and his canine partner Banshee responded to a location in an attempt to locate the juvenile. Banshee was given a scent article, which is an item associated with missing person, which would likely contain the missing person scent. Banshee acquired the scent of the juvenile and trailed the scent through an orchard for approximately 1 mile. Banshee alerted on the large stack of sweet potato boxes, and deputies found the juvenile safe atop the boxes. From the time Banshee picked up the scent, it took approximately 30 minutes to locate the missing person. Banshee does it again. While assisting, Banshee and her canine handler Dustin Witt tracked and located the suspect the highway patrol was looking for. Such a good girl. Mears County Sheriff's Office, Dustin Witt and Canine Banshee will be telling their story about being an unbeatable team when it comes to finding missing persons and fugitives. Check it out tonight, October 31st, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. on ABC 30 Action News.
I should pull that in.
Canine Banshee tracks down domestic violence suspects. On August 30th, 2019, deputies from Mears County Sheriff's Office responded to the 300 block of Bermuda Street for a domestic in progress. Prior to the deputies arriving, the suspect, Saley, ran from the scene and was wanted for felony domestic violence and felony criminal threats. Deputies on the scene requested Deputy Dustin Witt and his canine partner Banshee to pick up the suspect's track. Canine Banshee is one of 2 human trafficking dogs at the Mears County Sheriff's Office and is not an apprehension dog. Deputy Witt and Canine Banshee tracked Saley for approximately 40 minutes and over a quarter of a mile and located Saley hiding in a chicken coop. Stalking suspects said Mears County Sheriff's Office Bloodhound did a good job in finding him. Sergeant Dustin Witt and Canine Banshee responded to a call to locate a stalking suspect just 1 week after training with Scent Evidence Canine CEO Paul Coley in California. Sergeant Witt used a Scent Evidence canine scent kit to collect odor from the window inside the victim's apartment complex where the suspect was seen an hour and a half before. Witt used the absorption scent collection method taught by Coley to preserve any evidence at the scene. Sergeant Witt presented the scent jar to Canine Banshee, a scent discriminant Bloodhound, and the team deployed. Canine Banshee trailed a quarter of a mile through the apartment complex to where the suspect was sitting on a curb. The suspect told deputies that he had been at the victim's house and that the dog did a good job, while confirming his path was the same as Banshee's trail. Canine Banshee and deputies tracked down burglary suspects. Mears County.
This dog is incredible.
Incredible.
And didn't they bring like 5 or 6 dogs in? One was from like North Carolina.
I know 5 cadaver dogs hit in the backyard. I know that Banshee was used as a scent dog, and one of the cadaver dog handlers that testified last week also said that they had gone to Cuna, where we do know there was no details about what was found there at the house, but we do know a cadaver dog hit outside of Tina Mariel's house.
Yeah. We know that we had known that they had went to Tina's house long time ago and that there had been a hit, but it's like she was, in my opinion, lying. Saying, oh, it was the sewer or whatever.
Right.
But just incredible dogs, and with a history like that, with finding, this amazing track record, that says a lot, if you ask me.
Right, and Dustin Witt did testify that Banshee passed away shortly before Christmas this last year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Fundiski's rest in peace, Banshee. What an amazing officer, because they're officers too.
Right, and the FBI collected all of the scent articles from Brandy. It was one of Michael's shoes, a pillow, a blanket that Monkey used, and a monkey stuffed animal. And then Brandy testified that they took mouth swabs of every single person in the home, all of them, every member of the household.
Of which household? Can you be clear on that?
The Vaughn's household.
Gotcha.
And it was the shoe that Banshee. So when he used this little vacuum machine, so Michael's shoe sits at the bottom, and then there's like a vacuum up at the top, and in between the two there is a 4x4 pad, Dustin said, that sits in between. So when the vacuum gets turned on, it pulls the scent from Michael's shoe up through this, and all the scent gets collected and is put into this, this 4x4 pad that's sitting there. And then that pad is put into a jar and sealed up. And then, so when Banshee was used that day, he just, used that scent pad.
And that scent will last for several years, won't it?
Video.
It'll last for several years.
It will last up to 11 years or more, yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing. That just shows you just the incredible nose of a dog. It really does.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I went through that Merced. I kept saying Merced. I didn't know how to pronounce it. It's Merced County Sheriff's Office. If you look it up and you just put in Dustin Witt and Banshee, all kinds of stuff pulled up from that sheriff's office. I mean, all kinds. I didn't even go over everything. It was crazy. Very, very, very good dog. And again, that dog has never, given any false alerts on any of her jobs.
It's amazing. I think I might go back and look at some of those articles and look at some of the news stories just to show people. I think that would be cool as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Samantha, we need to do a dual live sometime soon. And Josh can join us as well. He would like to join us. I'm sure we could all do
I would love that.
From our so yeah. I just want to thank you truly, because you you stay really dedicated to certain cases, right? Like, Kyron Horman in this, and, Michael Vaughn in these cases, and you being there for Brandy and Tyler, and just giving this information that you took, time and stress and all of that, going through all of this. You're amazing, my friend, and I truly do appreciate you. I really do.
Thank you so much.
I'll get to hopefully meet you at trial. I look forward to that.
I'm going to go down there as many times as I can for trial. I really do want to be there. We're going to see how everything works out. I'm ready to go back for trial. That is for sure. And Stacey Wondra will be before the district court to either plead guilty or not guilty April 15th at 10 a.m. in the morning. Yep.
Yeah. And then they will, it depends how he pleads, then they will schedule the next, court date trial if need be.
Exactly.
So,
And maybe, just maybe, if Stacey does know where Michael is, maybe he'll plea out before then. I've always been 50-50. I don't know if he knows or not where Michael is. I really do go back and forth on that, because there were certain questions that Chris McDonough asks him, and he just stutters around and acts like he can't answer the question, and that's all related to whether or not, he's sure that Michael was in the backyard, or, other very specific questions. And if you can't answer that question without fumbling your words, what do you know about where Michael is now? And we already know that Stacey has given all of this information to law enforcement already. And if he thinks that he could possibly get a lesser sentence or not get the death penalty or any of those things by trying to get another plea deal, then Stacey Wondra is going to do that.
Oh, he's very serving naturally, and he's going to. I don't think he knows. I just don't, because in my opinion, if he knew, I think he would have. I think he said this because, like, when he first told, I think he thought he was going to get Sarah in trouble, and he's in jail. She threw him essentially in jail, and he was going to get her back. And I mean, he might know, but I don't see how. I really don't see how.
The missing PNW true crime is not me. I am missing PNW crimes revisited.
Sorry, that's what I meant. That's still the same length. It's still the same length.
Okay.
Sorry. That
Yeah,
it's still the same length. Let me
that's fine.
fix that in my description. For the replay crew, I have the link for Samantha. Missing PNW crimes revisited. Make sure you guys
And I appreciate you very much. I mean, I was asked to look at Michael Vaughan's case and to go over it a couple of years now. I can't believe it's been over a couple of years now since I was asked. And I had never even heard of Michael Vaughan before. When I looked him up, it was a man that popped up on the internet. And I knew right then that, wow, this kid
There's
is
a
not getting
celebrity.
enough awareness.
There's a celebrity named Michael Vaughn or something like that. And I've done the same thing. I'm like, no. So you literally have to type in Michael Vaughn missing or Michael Vaughn Fruitland, Idaho.
Fruitland, Idaho. Yep, exactly. And so I didn't even know who he was. I'm right here in Washington. I'm only 6 hours away from where he came, where he was abducted from. So I knew he wasn't getting enough awareness. And then I came across one of the first interviews that Brandy Vaughn had done with a news reporter. It was her sitting in their living room there in Fruitland, Idaho. And she was broken. She was absolutely broken. It was Christmas time. People were sending them gifts and Christmas gifts and everything. And when I heard her talk, I knew how broken she was. I knew they needed help. I knew she had nothing to do with her child's abduction. And this was just my gut feeling from just seeing her talk to this news reporter. And then after that, it just took off from there. I just fell in love with the family, and I fell in love with Monkey.
Yes. So when I wasn't a creator then, but I helped out creators when Summer Wells went missing. And Summer Wells went missing in June of 2021. And then Michael Vaughn went missing in July of 2021. Excuse me.
Right.
And like everyone was crazy about Summer's case now, because there it was just out there, the parents and the mysterious and all that. But with Michael's case, it did not get near, not even close to the attention Summer got. And a lot of it
Right.
was because there wasn't a lot, especially in the beginning, right? It was just that
Mhm.
he was abducted, and if you see or hear anything, let us know. Um, and then it
I
really
mean, yes,
didn't.
it was absolutely shocking, to see Stacey Wondra's probable cause affidavit and know that they were interviewing all four of these suspects 6 days
Same
after
time.
Michael's abduction.
Mhm,
And then you have Banshee, the 2nd of August, hitting in all these locations of
mhm.
this tricycle. And then the day, 2 days after, Michael was abducted, you have somebody saying they saw Michael on a tricycle on Red Wing and Meadowlark. I mean, all of the pieces are kind of going together now, 4.5 years
Now it
later.
is. Yeah, but that just lets like with the Nancy Guthrie case, with Summers case, all of these, Jack and Lily's case, if just because I mean, and like we didn't know anything with Michael Vaughn's case in the beginning, and I don't know, it was like a year later or so, they named 4 suspects, right? But again, just like Samantha said, they were on these 4 suspects from pretty much jump. We just didn't know it.
Mhm. Right, and Juanita Kelleher kinda gave the defense the reason why. It's because as she was going over the CCTV camera footage after the Wanderers had already said that, they were sleeping that morning, didn't leave the house till noon or whatever. Juanita was going through and she saw that Lexus that Stacy was driving when Stacy pulls into the splash pad. She thought it was very unusual, not only that he pulled into a splash pad area, but that he was checking his door handles and seemed to be watching and looking around like he was seeing if anybody was watching, and then tries to, you know, look around and sees kids and then starts waving. Like that in itself is just creepy because
It's
he
very
leaves
weird.
there and then goes to a skate park and sits there before he comes home. And Stacy said in all of his YouTube stuff that he went to that splash pad at 1, but he's seen on CCTV at the splash pad at 3:20, and he arrives back home to the neighborhood, we found out last week, at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So he's only gone for like an hour and a half.
Mhm.
And we'll find out more. Just
Oh, yeah.
like you're saying, like you believe that Sarah took Brandon to Cuna, they'll have that on CCTV
Oh, they'll have it.
if,
They'll have it.
that
There's,
Toyota left.
yeah, there's too many cameras between Kuna and Fruitland. They'll have them, you know, with, it's, and this is the thing. It's been 5 years, right? And it's taken a long I mean, they have just worked so hard on this, just incredibly hard. And, it pisses me off that it's taken 5 years because it's like, that's a half a decade these mofos have been out free. I don't care if they are looking over their shoulders in fear, about going to prison or whatever, but better late than never, and,
Exactly. And We get asked, or I get asked a lot. How come Brandon and Adrian are still out? And I know now, even though I knew before I went to Fruitland, I know for sure now. It's a very small town. Very small. To arrest and charge 4 suspects, to get them all defense attorneys that the state's going to have to pay for if they can't afford one for themselves. I mean, all of the officers that were in that courtroom, the clerks and everything, this is a lot of time, money, and effort that Fruitland has to do, and they are not able to do that financially with 4 suspects.
Th-
Plus,
There's like
there are
nothing in the
also
town.
other cases going on there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
There's like
there
nothing in
are
the
other
town.
things going on.
Yeah.
Fayette County, I think I heard from my moderator, Shannon. She lives in that area, and she said that there's like 2 or 3 different murder trials and stuff going on. So there's a lot, and they just can't afford it. But right
They
now, I don't know that Brandon Shirtliff's going to be walking free very much, very much longer. Not after the kind of stuff that I was just hearing in court. Brandon Shirtliff has a lot more to do with everything than he has said. Him saying he saw them put the duffel bag somewhere. Him talking about, his red duffel bag, his red marble bag that he had. And then he asked Juanita Kelleher, have you found it yet? That means that duffel bag is no longer in his possession. So where's the red duffel bag, Brandon? Where did you put it, Michael?
Do you remember us? I think the last time we did a live together, that's what we was asking. Hey Brandon, what'd you do with that duffel bag? That's what I asked him with Stacey on my live. Brandon, what'd you do with that duffel bag? Where's that duffel bag? Where's that duffel bag, Brandon?
Exactly,
So
because you have 2 suspects that come up on YouTube. Both of them mention a duffel bag without ever being asked about a duffel bag. Both of them talk about how that duffel bag isn't big enough to put a child or a person in it when nobody asks about it. They are giving up information. They are talking about things, and they're stupid criminals, just like Brandy Vaughn says.
yep, dumb
They're
as hell.
stupid criminals.
I think that in
All
my
of them.
opinion, the 2 most evil in this is Sarah and Brandon, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't
Excuse
know.
me, what did you just say? I was reading a comment in chat.
I think the 2 most evil in this is Sarah and Brandon. What do
See,
you
and
think?
I feel like the 2 evil in this is Sarah and Stacey.
I mean, I think Stacey
I think
is
Stacey is a monster.
I don't think he has feelings for
And with
anybody.
his
But the thing with, like, Brandon, like, I feel like if anybody knew better, it would have been him. But
mhm,
I feel like, him and Sarah, you know, well, I think they said Adrian, but, them running in the house with Michael and then
mhm.
Brandon going back to that house that night and suggesting about leaving Michael at the house underneath. And then, we've heard about uh, allegedly Brandon putting him in a garbage bag and all of that and
There's so many
stuffing.
lies and stories, isn't there, to try to,
Stuff.
like, figure out everything, like, who did what, and
Mm.
that's what it is, a race. It is a race right now to who is going to start talking to law enforcement first to get that plea deal. And one of these 4 suspects just needs to come forward and tell the truth about what really happened that night, whether it is agreeing with Stacey Wondra in the story that he gave, or, is there something else? And yes, Sarah Wondra is the ringleader here. She's
She is.
queen bee in that
She
house.
is. She is. If
Absolutely.
she deserves, in my opinion, the worst. The absolute worst.
She's the one driving the GMC truck to Cuna.
She's
They're gonna go tow a car, and she's driving the GMC. They're gonna teach her how to tow that night.
Yeah, the night
She has a very, very violent criminal history. Very violent. Not only has she pulled the pew-pews out on people, she has hit them with it. She has a lot of crime, a lot of violent crime over here in Oregon, which is right next to Washington up here. I mean, she's violent. And then you have Stacey Wondra, who has his anger issues and his fetal alcohol syndrome, but he knows right from wrong. Even though he has fetal alcohol syndrome, I don't want to hear those excuses.
He does
He
know
just wants
right
to
from
play
wrong.
victim in all of this.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't
They all do.
sit there and lie like that if you know the right from wrong and stuff. I could literally talk about this. You and I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours and hours. But it's 12:08 a.m. here, and I got to be up at 5:30.
Well, thank you for inviting me up. I was actually just talking to my husband today saying I need to do some shows around the YouTube and talk to people, because I know a lot of people have had questions, and I've actually just got another invite yesterday. I'm just
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm still very emotional about everything, and I'm comfortable up here with you, or even with Josh. So,
That's awesome. Well, thank you. Let's do a live all together from our channels. You can stream from your place and all that, and likewise, I think that would be good. I'll text you and text Josh, and we'll see what we can do. This was a good live. It was
thanks
a very
everybody
good live. Very informative.
Thanks everybody for coming in and supporting the Vaughan family and supporting Michael Vaughan. All we want is justice for Michael Vaughan. And if you have a tip regarding, Sarah Wondra, Stacey Wondra, Adrian Lucian, or Brandon Shirtliff, you can call the Fruitland Police tip line at, I don't have my phone on. It is 208-642-6006, or you can email findmichael@fruitland.org. Again, that telephone number is 208-642-6006. These tips can still come in, even though Stacey Wondra is going to trial. Every single bit of information that you have is important. So please call law enforcement if you know anything.
Yeah. Please.
Thank you, Justin, so much. Thanks everybody in chat for the support. I love you guys. It was amazing to come up and be able to.
Thank you for coming up, just
tell more people
popping
about
in and stuff, and just jumping up, because I know you're probably tired and stuff, but I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, Justin. Thank you so much. I will talk to you next time. Love you, hon.
Love you, darling. Appreciate you. All right, guys, that's our good night, darling. Thank you. That is our friend Sam from Missing PNW True Crime Revisited. Link is in the description for the replay crew. Make sure you sub up to Samantha. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell to all, so you don't miss anything. She would greatly appreciate it. And we've done a lot of different lives on Michael Vaughan together, and we'll continue, Lord willing. All right, guys, get some rest. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate your time. You guys could have chosen to be anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. Thank you, guys. God bless. Good night.